Hello students, welcome back to this online course of Water Resource Engineering. So we were learning about the impurities which can hamper the plant's growth. So there were total 6 kind of impurities possible. So first was sediment, second was total concentration of soluble salt. So let us start. Let us see the third one, the proportion of sodium ions to the other cations. So most of the soil contain calcium and magnesium ions and small traces or small quantities of sodium ions. Okay. The percentage of the sodium ions is generally less than 5% of the total exchangeable cations. It is not the 5%, it is the 5% of the total exchangeable cations. If this percentage increases to about 10% or more, the aggregation of soil grains break down. That means if soil is in lump, it will start to break down when the sodium ions is greater than 10% or more. It is observed. The soil becomes less permeable, okay, and of poorer tilth. It starts crusting when dry and its pH increases towards that of an alkaline soil. If sodium is ion present is more than 10%, then the soil's pH will become equal to, or it will, the results will show that its inclination is towards alkaline soil. Okay, how we are going to check whether the soil is in high sodium or not? So high sodium soils are plastic, sticky when wet, prone to form clots, and they crust on drying. So you might have observed that in black cotton soil or red soil, when they are wet, it will it they seems to be sticky, and when they are dry, if that lump is made dry, then it will be crusting, or it will break down into small lumps. So how we are going to check what are the parameters? So the proportion of sodium ions present in the soil is generally measured by a factor called sodium absorption ratio, SAR, and represents the sodium hazard of the water. By seeing the value of SAR, we can directly tell whether this water is hazardous or it is less hazardous. So what how we are going to measure it? So SAR is equal to the concentration of sodium ion divided by the average of calcium ion plus magnesium ion. So Ca2 plus Mg2 plus divided by 2. So this is the average. We are taking root, and sodium ion is divided by this value. So the concentration of the ions is expressed in equivalent per million, okay, EPM. In the previous lecture we have seen ppm, that was parts per million. It is equivalent per million. So depending upon the SAR value, we can categorize the water as low, medium, high and very high. If it is between 0 to 10, so water is low sodium water, and it will be denoted by S1. 10 to 18, S2, it is medium sodium water. 18 to 26 is high sodium water, and it is termed as S3. And if it is greater than 26, so the water will be very high sodium water, and it is denoted by S4. So I hope till now it is clear. Now let us see, depending upon the SR value, how the that particular type of water can be used in irrigation. So the SAR value can be reduced by adding gypsum, CaSO4, to the water or to the soil. If there is a very high sodium presence, so we will add gypsum in that water, or we can directly use gypsum to the soil. So let us see, if type of water is S1. S1 means SAR is between 0 to 10. So where we can use it? Can be used for irrigation or on almost all soils and for almost all crops except those which are highly sensitive to sodium, such as stone fruit trees and avocados, etc. So can be used for irrigation on almost all type of soils and for almost all crops except those. If that particular plant is very sensitive to sodium, then we cannot use even S1 type of water. So S2, it was 10 to 18. So appreciably hazardous in fine textured soil which may require gypsum, etc., but may be used on coarse textured or organic soil with good permeability. So it, if the fine textured soil means its permeability is very less, so we will not be able to use S2 type of water if the soil texture is very fine. S3, 18 to 26, so may prove harmful on almost all the soils and do require good drainage, high leaching, gypsum addition, etc. for proper irrigation. So good drainage means its permeability is high. High leaching, gypsum addition, gypsum we are adding because S3 is in high sodium water. S4, generally not suitable for irrigation. So depending upon the sodium concentration, we can estimate that whether this water is useful for our crop or not. How we are going to measure it, or what are the other parameters related to the sodium absorption ratio are depending upon the electrical conductivity, which is representing salt content of water, the exchangeable sodium percentage ESP, which is representing percentage of sodium with respect to total exchangeable cations, and the pH value of the soil. The soils are classified as saline, alkaline or saline alkali. So if soil is saline or white alkali, when this condition is there, if the electrical conductivity is greater than 4000 micromole per centimeter at 25 degrees Celsius, I have told you, ESP is less than 15 and pH is less than equal to 8.5. If these conditions are there for a particular water or soil, soil only, so then we are classifying that particular soil as saline soil or white alkali. If EC is less than 4000, ESP is greater than 15 and pH ranges between 8.5 to 10, then that type of soil is termed as alkaline soil, non-saline alkali or sodic soil or black alkali. The last one is saline alkali soil. So EC should be greater than 4000, ESP is 15, greater than 15, and pH will be less than 8.5. So this is all about the sodium ion concentration in soil or water. So let us move on to the next type of impurity, which can be the concentration of potentially toxic elements. A large number of elements such as boron, selenium, etc. may be toxic to plants. So traces of boron are essential to plant growth, but its concentration above 0.3 ppm may prove toxic to certain plants. So boron is essential, but in a very small quantity. If so 0.3 ppm is very less. So if boron concentration is exceeding this, so it may prove toxic to certain plants. Even for the most tolerant crops, the boron concentration should not exceed 4 ppm. Some plants may be tolerant to boron, but for them also, if boron concentration is greater than 4 ppm, then it is not good. Boron is generally present in various soaps. So source of boron is the soaps. The wastewater containing soap, etc. should therefore be used with great care in irrigation. If the water coming is of having any kind of like wastewater, so in wastewater there will be the presence of soap. So if we are using that type of water, we have to be very careful while using that particular water in irrigation. Selenium, even in low concentration, is toxic and must be avoided. So any kind of traces of selenium must be avoided. The next is bicarbonate concentration as related to concentration of calcium plus magnesium. High concentration of bicarbonate ions may result in precipitation of calcium and magnesium bicarbonate from the soil solution. If bicarbonate is present in a high concentration, so what it is going to do, because sodium concentration and magnesium concentration is there, so it will react with them and precipitate the calcium and magnesium bicarbonate from soil solution, increasing the relative proportion of sodium ions and causing sodium hazards. So I think you can relate this to sodium ion concentration. So if sodium is there, calcium is there, magnesium is there. So if magnesium and calcium are getting away from the soil in the form of precipitation, so what it is going to do, it will increase the sodium ion concentration. So that is not good for plants. The last one was bacterial contamination. So bacterial contamination of irrigation water is not a serious problem unless the crops irrigated with highly contaminated water are directly eaten without being cooked. If the crop that in which we are using highly contaminated water, the contamination is of bacterial contamination, so if that can be used directly, that can be eaten directly without being cooked, so that is not good. So we have to take care. Cash crops like cotton, nursery stock, etc. Cash crops are which can be used for money, which can be commercialized. So these crops we can sell and we can earn cash. So that's why the name cash crop came. The cash crop like cotton, nursery stock, etc., which are processed after harvesting, can therefore use contaminated wastewater without any trouble. So cash crops, like after producing cotton, we have to process it to make it its quality for selling. So in these type of crops we can use the contaminated water. So this is a problem, this is a numerical we have to do. I will discuss this in next class. So I will read it out for you. So question is, it is having three parts. First one is, what is the classification of irrigation water having the following characteristics? Concentration of sodium, calcium and magnesium are 22, 3 and 1.5 milliequivalents per liter respectively. So these are the concentration of sodium, calcium and magnesium, and the electrical conductivity is 200 micromos per centimeter at 25 degrees Celsius. So by seeing these figures, you have to classify the irrigation water. Second one is, what problems might arise in using this water on fine textured soil? So what can be the problems arise? You have to write it down. Last one is, what remedies do you suggest to overcome this trouble? First, you have to classify the irrigation water. Then by seeing some results or some values, you have to tell what problems might arise, and for those problems, what are the remedies will you suggest? So I hope this lecture is clear to you. So your doubts are always welcome. If you have some doubts, just put it on in the comment box. I will be replying, or I will take those doubts to the next lecture, and I will solve your problem. So this is all for today. Thank you.